Hey everybody, this is my CBR. I just put a automatic chain oiler on it. It's a Cameleon Plus. This right here is the brain box of it. It's meant to go on like a adventure bike or some other bike where it doesn't have, this big thick aluminum frame. So I put 3M sticky tape on it and it's on there. Got 3M double-sided, they're strongest. This is the reservoir, this tube right here. And then this wire comes out of it also. And I just tucked it underneath the frame rail there all the way up. Keeps coming up right here. And then it goes up here. And then I'm going to fasten it right there. I need to put a clear tip on so it will be vented. And then I hooked into my tail lights. So that's switchable power. That's what they recommend because it draws so little. Okay, that was a fairly easy part. And then back here, I put this tape over to keep this electrical wire away from my chain. Right here is where the flexible tube comes out. I'm going to retape that until it gets a memory and stays away from the chain. Now, this flexible tube comes back, and it kept wanting to get on there. I didn't know what to do. They give you these type of fasteners, 3 of them. So I finally came up, hey, power low. Okay, so anyway, right here, I pulled the bolt out of my chain guard and put it in there, and it worked great. So it just holds it there, and it can slide a little bit back and forth if it needs to. I drilled and tapped. Another one, I used a punch to set punch, and then they provide self-tapping screws, and it's a square head, like for a deck screw or something like that, square drive. You're supposed to keep this in here. Now, this hard tube, you come down here, and then it gets right above the chain and drips. That hard tube has this wire in here to keep it shaped the way you want. It's very hard to bend. And I tried these tin snips. I've got a lot bigger pair of tin snips. Couldn't break it. Finally, I got my old fencing tool, and you need something like this where it actually will cut the wire, to cut that easily. And it's very hard to twist, to get this 90 in and get it tight. That was the hard part for me. I recommend, because right here I got some tape. I think I might have, with some pliers, or my bender might have gone all the way through. I'm not sure. So I put tape around it. We'll see how that works. But what I learned is I protected all this with a double layer of electrical tape. And to finally get that flat, I put electrical tape all around here, really heavy, so I could grip it with a good set of pliers and then twist it so it would go flat, because this was the hardest part right here to get this bend. So once I did that, you're supposed to be 1 inch. I'm about a little less than 3/4 inch away from there, and I'm not worried about it going back there too much. I might go on the other side and attach it back there with something. I have an idea and I can post it later. But that is my installation of the Cameleon Plus. So I'm going to lower this down and show you something. Put the key in it. Just turn the key on. And this should fire up. The reason I put it there, you got a button, so I can still reach behind here and I push a button for the trek mode, or if I'm riding in rain, it will put a little more oil out. You can't even notice it there really. Yes, it's got a light, but by the time I put the tail fairing on, I don't know how much space I'll have. But my only regret is maybe putting it here, I won't be able to see this tube. The oil in there, they say, should last about 3,000 miles. And if it does, I'll add oil twice a year. But hopefully my chains will last longer. This is a stock chain. It should have been changed this summer. I got one more short trip out of it. And it's going to get replaced here in a little bit. But I want my chains to last longer. So, I don't know why it's not focusing. Autofocus. There it goes. Sorry about that. So, you get the blue light. It should flash every so often. This oiler, when you stop, it will not oil. If you get into rough country, adventure riding, not on this bike, it will oil more. It knows, and you can set it. Or it has a trek mode. If you're in the rain, it'll oil more. Keep your chain oiled if you're running across rain all day. Anyway, hopefully it'll work, and I will let you guys know.